Is SEO enough to earn profit and revenue? That's the $1,000,000 question for the century. I can say it like that. Welcome to the We Don't Play podcast show. More importantly, welcome to the place where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. And I took some time to think about this topic and decide how best would it make the most sense for you and your business to understand how this works, and if it works for you, how well it should work if it's not been working in a way that it could have worked. And I said, this would be the best way to bring this to you. Is SEO enough to earn profit and revenue? That's the question. And the answer to that is SEO is not enough, but without SEO, you won't be getting enough of what you could be receiving, if that makes sense. Because when you create a business, your goal as a business owner is to earn profit and revenue. Welcome, LAJ. Your business, hey Tedru, your business is going to earn profit and revenue by the efforts that your business makes based on your business model, your customer experience. SEO is not enough. If you have bad customer experience or bad business operations or bad mission and vision milestones that you can achieve, how will you be able to achieve SEO? If you have bad internal staff problems or things that are not aligned, or you don't have a good graph or a project management system, how will SEO help? So SEO is not enough. But SEO is what you need that will make sure that your profit and revenue is enough to carry on the tasks that you need consistently. Why? Because right now, I'm not sure if you've heard about this, but this has been happening, and I'll talk about this in another conversation, but I just want to bring this to your attention now. Google, do your research, Google it. Google has just recently removed the number pages from the bottom of the website. This is a global thing. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the pagination, if that's what I want to call it, number 1, 2, 3, 4, you know how you scroll down, you hit number 2, you scroll down, you hit number 3 on Google, that's gone. So it's called NUM equals 100 or num equals 100. That's a parameter, meaning that Google has removed that from the algorithm. What does that mean? It's actually tanked Reddit's stock market price. It's done a lot of damage to websites that were depending on that 90%, so to call, or, if you look at that 20 to 90, in other words, your listings on Google is from 1 to 10. So 1 to 10 is one page. 11 to 20 is page 2. 21 to 30 is page 3, so on and so forth. So now all the way through 100, they've all been cut off, meaning that AI that was sourcing information from these platforms have also come out, are not able to source. So it's also responded differently to the way AI is also responding back to the algorithm. So if Google is limiting its resources to other third-party sites, I can call them third-party because they're outside the property of Google, then that means that SEO is going to be even more important. It's not enough, but it's going to be more important, because for you to earn profit and revenue with SEO, first of all, you need a website. You need an active website. You need to have an active website that is responsive and that also has a context that will lead someone to a purchase. So you have two types of purchases in business. You have pre-purchase, hey Abuka, and you have post-purchase. So you have pre-purchase where people are searching for information before they buy. That's Amazon, that's TikTok, that's Instagram, that's anywhere else that you can like to shop. Post-purchase is like YouTube. Oh, I need to know how to fix this. Oh, my car needs this type of oil. What oil do I need to buy? Or I'm looking for this, cookie recipe. How do I use it? You're going to use YouTube. That's going to happen by default. by default. So when you look at the connections that you're making online, the post-purchase is going to happen after the pre-purchase. So if someone's going to be looking for your business, how are they going to find it? SEO is going to be one major resource, because when you have a website, it's also going to take your business to the next level because you have authority. I'll give you an example. We have a client and she just went up by 200,000 points within the last week. In other words, on podcasts, there are 4.6 million shows. And that means your podcast is ranked within one of those numbers. And it's a daily graph. So every day you're going to rank upwards or downwards. It's like the stocks. You never have a consistent flat, ranking. You have a potential ranking. Welcome, Bo. You have a potential ranking, but you don't have a consistent number. So if that number is always going to go up and down, you want to go up and down based on the current. Think about like an ocean, right? A deep blue ocean. The darker the ocean is, or the darker the color blue is, the deeper the ocean is going to be, right? So if I can see clear water because it's crystal, it's blue, it's nice, it just feels really, really like, it feels cool. That's an experience, that's a feeling that you're going to have. Now, that's a pre-purchase intent, because now if I'm looking at all these beaches and all these nice galleries and all these nice places to go to, I want to be there because I want to be part of that experience. That's a pre-purchase. That's why your website is so important. If you're going to go-kart racing, or I love bowling, I love cooking, if I'm going to go somewhere and do something, I'm going to love it because I'm going to try it out. I tried golfing the other day. It was fun, and this is not just top golf, but this is like actual golf. And it was fun. So you do these things, but before you go there, you got to look at the website. Is it nice? Are they appealing? Is it visually, aesthetically pleasing? Is it something that I can actually enjoy? Do they have great customer service? Do they have a system that I can actually flow with? You ask these questions. Are they open? What have other people said? These are things that you want to know. So for you to earn profit and revenue as a business, your website has to be part of this equation. So it's not enough, but it's going to be more than enough over time when you've invested quality time on your website the first time, or at least the first 3 years. If you bootstrap for the first month through the last month of the year, and you've connected with people with different topics, different examples, different, I would say FAQs, glossaries, tables, comparisons, definitions, examples. These are things that are going to get you traffic. Success leaves blueprints. Like if you look at the success that leaves clues, I'll give you one example of that clue. Wikipedia. Wikipedia is an information resourceful page or website. And it's one of the top most viewed websites in the world. Why? Because they have information. Now, if there are 1.1 billion websites in the world, 1.1 billion, 72% of the people who use websites, whether you're, and this could be including you or excluding you, or you've tried it before, you haven't, but 72% of internet service users browse using Google Chrome. 72%. So when you start looking at the numbers and start asking yourself, okay, how am I going to create profit and revenue for my business, knowing that someone is going to need to go to my website to answer a question, or to see a frequently asked question, or to read a blog, or to read the description, or to read the customer label, or read something that is going to make them decide, or read the privacy policy or the shipping policy. It's whatever it is, they're going to have to read something or see something or decide on something that has to come from your website. Even if they go to ChatGPT, Alexa, Siri, or Google, there's going to be a resource, there's going to be a response. And that response has to be something that you can validate. So if you're thinking about right now how best you can create profit and revenue with SEO, one great example and one great strategy you can apply, if you haven't started this, please do. If you have, great. It's good to keep this going. Email marketing. Email marketing is going to be a great saver because with all these algorithm changes, companies updating things, algorithms are shifting. Guess what? It's going to keep happening, right? There are 1.1 billion websites and there are over 50 billion searches a day across the web. That's more than the total population of the world, which is 8.2 plus billion. So if you're looking at these numbers and they sound outrageous, they sound huge, it just sound like, okay, wow, great. But if you really look at the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, right? And you're creating content, you're building content, you're able to really understand, okay, how this content is going to create more access to helping more people understand how they can build more, then you're able to create more content for people based on how they're able to earn more revenue based on SEO. So SEO is based on search. So if I'm searching for something and this keyword is going to lead me to this result, then I know that this result is going to be a great result because of the search that I intended to search with. So there's usually two factors that come into this. Is it something that I want to have pre-purchase or post-purchase? So when you look at SEO and ask yourself, is it enough? The answer is it's not enough, but it's part of what you need to make it sure that it's also enough for you. It's going to take a while to build, but the more you're able to understand where your audience is, the intelligence, how they're also connecting back with you, it's going to be a great resource long term. Because the more you're able to really connect to people, the more they're able to connect back with you. So if you create content and say, okay, I love cookies or I love cake, then the type of cake you love is going to be different from the cake I love. Or we might both like the same cake because we both like the same flavor, right? Because we might just have something in common, which is great. So when you add that plus the other people who are also doing the same thing, you ask yourself, okay, what are people searching for? So when you have a website, your website is connected to Google Search Console. Google Search Console will tell you exactly what people are searching for. And that way you can now reverse engineer that and write an article, write an FAQ page, write a descriptive page, write something on a page that can be scanned through the website. And that way people can now connect back with you long term. So it's not something that you just do because you have to do it over time, but it's something that you just have to create the intention for. So that if you're creating a search intent term, that search intent term will say, okay, I'm looking for this type of cookies. If it's chocolate chip cookies, then it's going to be chocolate-chip-cookies. And that's going to be in the form of your URL, domain.com/chocolate-chip-cookies-recipe-list. Now that's a recipe list for chocolate chip cookies that if somebody's going to search for, they'll find you because you wrote that into your domain. So what I'm really trying to say here is that if you print the keywords that you find in your Google Search Console, and within your Google Search Console, you know these are the exact keywords people are searching for, and they find these same keywords, then these consistent keywords that keep showing up on your website will be the same responding concepts or pages that people will find on these search engines that they search on. So if you keep writing 10 pages about cookies and each URL has the same word in that, eventually you'll be the one that gets that feedback because you're consistently talking about it. If you talk about a checklist or an ingredient list, or, do you like this type of food? Or are you allergic to this type of food? By the time you get to know all these things and you've understood where they're coming from, where they're going to, you're sending out emails, you're doing polls, you're connecting with them. The profit and the revenue starts to come with SEO because you've built that sustainability with your website. So that's something that you have to really think about and ask yourself long term. Are we building for the sake of creating attention, retention, or where are we even going with this message so that people can now find us more consistently to connect within a deeper layer of understanding? So SEO is definitely not enough. But if you add SEO plus email marketing, SEO plus advertising, SEO plus social media, SEO plus lead conversion, SEO plus qualitative feedback, which could be surveys, it could be polls, it could be quizzes, it could be anything that you're doing with the community. It could be SEO plus advertising or billboard advertising. However you're going to go about it, it's going to still have that mix. Why? Simple case study here. You can't build, let me even say it this way. You can't bake a cake without the right ingredients. And there are many ingredients to consider, right? But I'll just say milk and eggs, right? You can add any other thing you want to add with the cake. But if milk and eggs are not in your cake mix, you don't really have a cake. So if you don't apply SEO plus whatever you're using, social media marketing, PPC, that's pay per click, or pay as you go, or billboard advertising, or email marketing, or e-commerce shop catalog advertising, or print advertising, or even PR, or podcast promotion, whatever it is that you're going to do, there's going to be SEO in it. Why? Because the copy that you read, the link that you click on, the visual that you have, the MP3, the MP4, the JPEG, the PNG, the PDF, whatever it is that you're sending them to click on, there's SEO involved. It's like your body. That without your DNA, there's a lot of things that won't be happening. So you have a unique personality because you're a unique person. So when you have a unique business because you solve a unique problem, then your unique solutions will now show up within the unique data fields. And that is going to say, I'm looking for this source, this search term, this search string, and I'm looking for this result. And then when you become the person of intent, that someone says, oh, I'm looking for this, or how do we find this? It works. Look at Amazon, for example. Amazon is a great example of a pre-purchase for profit and revenue when it comes to SEO. Amazon.com is a website. It's already a website. It's an e-commerce website. You go to Amazon.com, what do you see? Recently viewed, popular products, all those are keywords. Recently viewed, oh, what did I just check? Because when you look at SEO, it's technically psychology. That's really what it is. SEO is psychology. And I also call SEO thought leadership, because SEO is copy. It's text, it's scripts, it's tags, it's hashtags, it's copy, it's text, it's context. There's so much that if you miss out on delivering the message to the right person, it's a miss. It's a misalignment. So SEO is definitely going to be part of the ingredients to make sure that your business grows. Some people say, oh, I don't need SEO. I'm doing email marketing, but that's SEO. How? Favour. Okay, this is how you're doing SEO with email marketing. For example, if you're uploading an image to your MailChimp, to your Kit, to your Brevo and Flowdesk, whichever one that you want to use. When you upload that image has two things. Actually, it has three things. It has a file name, it has a file size, and it has a file extension. So the SEO is going to be very big here, because if this image I'm about to upload to this email marketing campaign doesn't have the right file name, the right file size, or the right file extension, then it's going to be hard for me to create a long-term effect with this page. And what do I mean? When you send an email like Flowdesk, for example, because I love Flowdesk and I'm a Flowdesk partner. Welcome, Ibrahim. Hey, Daniel. Glad to have you here too. Welcome to the Marketing Club. Flowdesk, when you send an email, and I'm sure others do too, when you send an email, that email can turn into a landing page. So that landing page is a link, and within that link has sublinks. So if you send an email to people within different IP addresses, different devices, different places, different states, cities, countries, wherever they are, and they are looking at your email, and they're opening your email, and they're actually reading your email. And how do you know they're reading it? Because they're staying on it. or they're coming back, or they're clicking in it. That's going to be a signal. And that signal is going to be a signal sent to the search algorithm database that, hey, you send this link to these people. Let's say you have a list of 1 million people, and out of 1 million people, 10% of them click on it. And now your website is showing you have, let's even say 1,000 visitors on your website. Let's not even give it the maximum. At least 1,000 people from 1 million people that you've sent to are actually on your website reading something. That's a lot, right? Now, if you scale it down and say, okay, let's do 1,000 websites. All right, 1,000 websites, or 1,000, let's do it this way. 1,000 contacts come into your one website. Hey, Elaine, thank you for being here. 1,000, hey, Lucas, 1,000 contacts. You sent an email to 1,000 contacts. At least 10 people would have clicked on that link and have gone to your website, or at least checked out your page, or at least opened it. At least. Now, the people who have opened your email, most times when people open, or they say, oh, SEO is working, or I see the impressions, I don't see clicks, or I see clicks, but I don't see sales. All these are metrics. These are, I can call them vanity metrics, but they're highly essential for you to know exactly how you're able to turn that metric into a monthly recurring revenue. For profit and revenue purposes, when it comes to SEO, the reason why SEO is so important, this is the major key thing when we talk about is SEO enough, because, and I'll explain this. With SEO, the major thing that I love about SEO, if someone asks me, Favour, why do you love SEO so much? The reason why I love SEO so much is because, or search engine optimization, or search everywhere optimization, is not just Google, it's the search experiment. Let me just call it that. Why do you just love the search experiment? The reason why I love this is because of data, or data, however you want to call it, because I know it's a global audience. The intelligence you get from the metrics you receive is going to be a high attribute that's going to let you know whether people are going to be interested in your product. There's something called an IDA framework. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Attention, interest, desire, action. If I'm paying for attention, or I'm paying you with my attention, in other words, I'm paying you with my time, that's a value. That's an essential value. That's a priceless value, time. If I know that I'm paying you with my time before I pay you with my money, it means that I've given you 30 minutes of my time before I give you 30,000 of my payment to you, or my investment to you, or my collaboration with you, or whatever you want to call it, fill in the blank, profit, revenue, whatever you want to call it. I'm just putting a number there. When you look at those 30 minutes, you value those 30 minutes because it's going to help the next 30 days of your life, the next 30 days of your business cycle, the next 30 days of fill in the blank. So when you spend 1 minute with someone, that 1 minute can transform everything. It can change everything. You could just say one thing, and that one thing, that's it. Bingo, you're in. And by the time you look back, you're like, whoa, where did time go? And how did this happen so fast? Yet you planned it all along. So SEO is going to be one of those key ingredients that's going to help you understand the data intelligence of your consumer, because every time that you look at your analytics and you see that people are visiting you from a specific city, specific state, specific country, specific area, that is a signal for you as a business owner to say, okay, if people are looking for me here, or people need my information here, then how can I come back here and run a paid ad campaign that can retarget and catch their attention, or even help them pay more attention to what they're looking for. Because when they're going online, they're not just surfing the web, they're looking for information. They want to solve a problem. They want to achieve a task. They want to accomplish a mission. They want to check something off their list. So if that is going to be a great bottom line factor for a business, and you know that if I install this or if I do this, it's working. Think about it like a car. If you change your oil, or if you change your battery, or if you put a good tire in your car, or you just fix something in your car, that's going to expand the lifespan of your car by 30,000 miles, 50,000 miles, however 1,000 miles you want to call it. But you've expanded the lifespan of your car because you fixed one problem. That's the same thing with SEO. When you start adding backlinks to your website, when you start adding blogs to your website, when you start updating your blogs with FAQs, updating your blogs with glossaries, updating your blogs with tables, updating your blogs with internal links, external links, anchored text that actually has context back to your keywords from your Google Search Console. These are things that will help your business grow. I've talked about it in the last episode. Perplexity AI dropped their new AI browser globally to everyone. It's called Comet, C-O-M-E-T. And I talked about it for about almost an hour. And people have been downloading. I've been hearing so many people letting me know, hey, I'm downloading the app, I'm downloading the browser, I'm checking it out on the website. It's really cool. And people are discovering it. Thank you, Lucas. Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on it too. This is the future. I don't know. Who knows? Only God does. You never know. Google Gemini might just turn into a browser. You will have Google Chrome browser, and then you have Google Gemini browser. Okay, checkmate. So it's like, how do you move from here, and how do you keep showing up? Because these AI tools that we're using on websites, on chatgpt.com or chat.deepseek.com or perplexity.ai or wherever we're going, these are going to be browsers. We're using ChatGPT on Google Chrome. Just think about it. We're using Perplexity on Bing. We're using X on Y. So you ask me, and I'll ask you too, how are we going to solve this problem when we keep doing this consistently? Knowing that a time is coming that these search engines are going to be looking for these responses. I mentioned earlier today, welcome Cream. Thanks for being here, and Anon too. If you really look at SEO long-term and look at it where you're basing your intelligence from with all these new AI browsers, AI servers, now with Google just removing numbers 100 parameter, or NUM equals 100 parameter. In other words, they removed the listings on Google, and now it's just scroll as you go, right? And at least 54.8% of it is focused on AI mode. So just think about where we're going with search. Perplexity is having its own AI browser where you can actually search for something, and you can import your Google Chrome extensions into your Perplexity. So Perplexity AI has that capability and more. Just listen to the last episode. I talked about it in depth. And you can also Google it and see it for yourself. So when you look at SEO, the topic of the day is SEO enough? It's not enough. It's 100%. I would never tell you, oh yeah, you only need SEO to boost your business. That's a lie. That would never be true, because SEO is the byproduct. I'll say it again. SEO is the byproduct. Why? Because if you skip SEO and you're trying to get to AI, if you skip SEO and you're trying to send an email to a list of 1,000 people, yet you've uploaded an image that is 5 megabytes and you've not connected your DNS records back into that's a domain name server, back into your website, then you're going to have flagged messages, you're going to have spam messages, you're going to have unsubscribes, you're going to have reports. If you've not connected your website to postmaster.google.com for compliance sake, you've not done these things that are ethically going to allow your business to grow, to reduce your spam rate. So I'm just giving you guys this knowledge back to back, because if you're not doing these things that should be happening, this is what we do with our clients, and you can do it for yourself. But the difference is the strategy, the implementation, and the knowledge. How do you decipher? How do you mint graphs? How do you calculate and demystify something so sophisticated, but it can be simplified within one sentence and it can actually be justified by data. That's where SEO comes in. If you look at your website and you look at where you're building traffic from, sometimes people wonder, hey, where am I going to run ads from? Am I going to run ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok? I'm like, run it anywhere you want to, because the world is yours. You can run it anywhere you want to. Here's one thing though. If you decide to run it on a platform that gives you the most return on your investment, that's going to be a big win for you. But how are you going to know that if you don't try? So I've always mentioned before, Pinterest is a great place to run ads. Pinterest SEO is a great place to be, because if you have an Instagram business account, you can ingest all your content from the last 365 days, at least. And of course, backwards, all into your Pinterest. So you don't have to repost anything that you posted from Instagram to Pinterest. So let's say you have 100 posts in October. Let's say you made 10 posts every month, and now in October, now you have 100 posts. These 100 posts on Instagram will live forever on Pinterest. The lifespan of an Instagram post is at least 72 hours. Sometimes people say 19 hours, but because of Explore and other things, 72 hours is a good average. Compare that to Pinterest, that gives you anywhere from, it was about 3.5 months last year, and now it's over 5 months this year. It could be 7 months next year. So the lifespan of one pin on Pinterest is 5 months, compared to the same image that you downloaded from Canva, that you uploaded to both Instagram and Pinterest, has a completely different lifespan on Instagram, which is giving you at least 72 hours. So now you wonder, how do we grow from here? Because if we create more content on Pinterest, that means we're expanding the longevity and we're actually creating more relevance to the algorithm, because AI depends on social media, search algorithms, intelligence, large language models to understand the natural language processing, NLP, of how words are demystified based on how you're able to create more content for people. So now when it comes to AEO, people call it answer engine optimization, all these words, GEO, generative engine optimization, I just call them cosmetics, because the root thing is that you're looking for, have a 4-wheel cycle. It's search, find, click, save. That's the formula. Search, find, click, save. That's the, I'll call it the wheel of the internet. That's something I created a while back. And it's, everyone picks up their phone. They're going to search for something. They're going to find something. Then they're going to click on what they found, and then they'll save it. Now, when you save it, it means you're going to come back to the search and find what you saved and click on what you saved the last time you found it. So it's like, okay, it's literally a consistent cycle. It's the same thing, same difference. So if SEO is where you want to see results, the goal is write content 2 to 3 months ahead of time for your business. Right now, we're going into holiday season. So if you're writing content back in July and August for September, October, November, December, holiday season, you're ahead of those people who are writing now, because when you look at the algorithm, it keeps spinning, right? There are so many blogs, so many content pieces that apply or come in every single day. So imagine if you've written content in July talking about how predicting the holiday season, and you're saying, oh yeah, this holiday 2025, this is what we're potentially going to have. People are reading that because they're anticipating for that time. So if you've been talking about it the whole time for the last 2 months, and then you just showed up yesterday talking about the same thing, who do you think the algorithm and people are going to find and trust? The person who has been talking about it first. But that doesn't mean yours is not valuable. It just means that yours came after the fact. But it's still relevant because it's still fresh. And that still gives you a chance to decide on whether you can still earn from that same market share. So if you're looking at profit margins and revenue, MRR, monthly recurring revenue, and building that revenue into your SEO model, then you have to divide it into two: pre-purchase, post-purchase. Pre-purchase, give people a checklist, give people an ultimate guide, tell people the description, case studies, let them know about this, define concepts, let people know about these things, about what you do, because SEO is broad. You can be on TikTok, talk about something, copy that embedded code, paste it into your website, launch that blog, and then send it back to Google. Or if you do auto indexing, let Google run it and scan and log your website, because it's something called tokenization, right? What is tokenization? I've talked about this before, but I keep saying it so that every time you hear the word tokenization, you know what it means. Tokenization just means a duplicate copy of your original website showing up on a third-party website. So for example, if you wrote a blog January 1st, 2025, and you never updated that article since January 1st, 2025, and today is October 10th, 2025, that means the tokenization on Google will last modify and say January 1st, 2025. That's when it will say it was last modified. When it comes to AI is looking for the last modified conversation. So if your last modified was January and your competitor's last modified was last week, and another competitor was probably the last 2 seconds ago, who's going to get that response in their feed? The person that did it in January, or the person that did it recently, or the person that just did it not too long ago? So when you look at the long-term effect of what you're creating for profit and revenue, it's planning. Even if you think about a business, whether it's a net 30, net 60, net 90, whatever you want to call it, profit, revenue, margins, as a business, if you know that if I put 10 articles and I let them run, and I've covered every single topic about what I decide to do or what I feel they need to know best about, which is going to help them make a better decision about what they're coming for based on search, then out of those 10 articles, I let them fly. And out of those 10, I pick the top 5. And then I run an ad on those top 5 and see the top 3. Out of those top 3, I can retarget and do the top 2. And now have an A/B test, and now we're going to have a winner. So from 10 to 5 to 2 to 1, it's a whole different thing. Even if you want to add 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they're still going to be tested. But at the end of the day, the reason why it's working well is not just because it's good content. It's because the person receiving the content on the other side of the fence or the other side of the message is actually interested in this conversation because they've been looking for it for so long. So when you give people information in a red carpet format and they actually receive it and they love it and they stay, they're going to come back the next time because you gave value the first time. Just like an elephant. If you help an elephant, they'll never forget you. An elephant has one of the most, I'll call it the most memorable, if I can use that word, memory or brain, or even, it can just remember you. Just 10 years, 20 years, doesn't matter. An elephant will remember you because of what you did. So just think about a person that you have helped, that you have saved a life, that you have helped a family, that you have solved a problem, or you have created a new perspective, or you've added a new concept, or you've changed the trajectory of whatever you're giving, because it could be anything that you have as a business. That's going to help the next person. So the reason why you're earning profit and revenue as a business, welcome Julia. The reason why you're earning profit and revenue as a business is because you solved a problem. It's because you met a need. So if the need was fulfilled from the pre-purchase, then that means that you were able to allow someone to learn more about you. It takes a while for someone to learn about what you do until it becomes something that they can actually do long term. Welcome, John. So as a business owner, ask yourself, where are we going in 2025, 2026? And how are we going to position ourselves online? If you have a website, you're ahead of the curve. If you don't have a website, reach out to me and I can help you with that. We can get the website going and get you set up, because you need a website as a business. You need an email marketing platform, a CRM, a customer relationship management platform. You need a social media presence. And if I was to choose one, and let's say you don't want to do everything, I would just say be on LinkedIn. At least start there. Because when you start with credibility, authenticity, and you start with professionalism on the internet, and you talk to people and they actually get to learn from you because of how you're able to show yourself and prove yourself, because people only take you seriously if you take yourself seriously and you show up for the people who you're connecting with. Eventually they'll reach out and say, hey, I need help with this or that, or I've been listening to you for a while and I know someone that can help you, or I know someone who needs help, because you've trusted or you've entrusted your content and your value into someone else's perspective or mindset. Someone can just think about you because of what you said. And just because you said that, now they know who they can connect with when somebody needs help with what you offer. So right now is the best time to start building your business forward. And think about SEO as part of the revenue strategy model. And using Pinterest or even a podcast can really help you long term. So welcome, Rose. If you have any questions about SEO, or anything to do with this topic, please put it in the chat. I'd love to answer your question before we go. And this is something that I wanted to just bring to your attention so that you can also learn how you can use this for yourself long term. It's not just something that you want to do right now, I understand. But at the same time, if you're going to be using social media to connect with people, then right now, SEO alone cannot grow a business in 2025 or 2026. So if you ask yourself, can SEO alone grow a business in 2025? Is SEO enough to grow a business in 2025? Is SEO enough to even grow your website in 2025 or even 2026? The answer is no. But SEO is so powerful that your revenue model and your profit margins will be so huge because of SEO. Because I would call it, you're ingesting or you're integrating your business into the search behavior algorithm of the web, right? Because Google is not going anywhere. Bing is not going anywhere. U.com, which is an AI platform, is not going anywhere. All these ChatGPT, Perplexity, Cloud, DeepSeek, Grok, Meta AI, they're not going anywhere. Trust and authority is going to still remain. And you're still going to need to depend on the algorithm to rank your business, but not dependent because that's what you need. It's because you're showing up for those results. So if you're connecting with people and you're running a brand campaign and people are checking your social media and they're reading reviews and they're having multiple touch points, that 4-7-11 method, right? You've heard of it before. Then you know that SEO plus content marketing, or SEO plus social media, which could be LinkedIn or Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook, you could do anything like that. And also to keep in mind that Instagram is social media, Pinterest is visual search engine. It's not just, I call it a hybrid model, but you can also have SEO plus emails and CRMs. You can have SEO plus branding, SEO plus billboards, SEO plus fill in the blank. So SEO is still relevant. It's the way people find your brand. It's the way the algorithms look for you. It's the way you can significantly boost your visibility within the algorithm, both traditionally and artificially. That's with Google and AI servers. And that usually takes within at least 3 to 6 months to see significance. If you have a new website, it might take a longer time. If you have an established website, if you have established media, then it could take 1 to 3 months. But if you're a new website, it could take 3 to 6 months. But imagine if those 3 to 6 months determine the trajectory of the next 3 to 6 years of your business. You definitely want to make an investment, because you don't want to keep saying the same things over and over again when you already said it in the form of a blog. You said it in the form of a podcast. You said it in the form of a video, and you already said it once. And that's the same question somebody's going to ask you the next time they ask you that question, because they need the same solution. So it's up to you. Do you want to keep saying the same thing, or do you want to let the algorithm say it for you so that you can say something else that will edify, multiply, enhance, and give value to your business long term because you have something that is structured on the web. So I hope this helped you, and I hope this gave you some insight. I wanted to just drop this and let you know. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My links are available. You can click on them if you want to discover more. If you want to get on an SEO call, discovery-wise, and get to know about it. If you need an SEO audit, we do a complimentary audit. I'll send you a recording of your website within 5 minutes, and you can watch what I send you that you could have been looking at in a Zoom call, and then you can decide either to get on the call or get started, or however it goes. We can definitely have a conversation. We're very flexible, and we work with you because we want to make sure that your business is growing, it's scaling, and it's being seen, heard, and remembered. That's why I do this consistently, and that's why I keep showing up. Even if it's one person in the room or one person listening, that's one person less that has to worry about something that they could have been figuring out if somebody did the job, if someone did the work, and now it's been done. So now they have more reason to do it and at a better capacity and also at a better stretch. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you for being here. Is SEO enough to profit? Is SEO enough to revenue? Is SEO enough to make sales? Is SEO enough to do this? It's up to you, right? You can earn profit, you can earn revenue, you can make profit, you can make revenue, you can call it a profit and revenue, you can call it a profit and loss statement, however you want to call it. I'm just giving you the words so that you can able to see how well your business can run if SEO was in the mix, or if SEO is in the mix. And it doesn't take a while. It just takes 3 months to set up, to get you going. And then the rest of the year, it depends on how you want to scale it. So if you want to scale it and automate it, great. If you want to keep maintaining it by yourself, great. If you want to help do it in-house, great. If you think about these big corporations, these big businesses, the large corporations and enterprises, it's either they have someone doing it in-house or they're outsourcing it from an agency. So either way it goes, you're either going to do it on your own, which is going to take a lot of your time, save you a lot of money and energy, but the energy might be converted out of the time because now you have to use that same energy to fulfill those tasks. Or you could save your time and pay it into an agency or somebody who can help you, at least even a consultant that can give you that direction so you can save more time in the future and at least work from a strategy standpoint as opposed to just a blank standpoint. So I hope this room helped you, and I hope this conversation helped you. I'll be back again with more conversations like this, and I can't wait to connect with you again. So thank you, Aileen. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Laj, or LAJ. I hope I said the name correctly. And I hope you all have a blessed and profitable and revenue-friendly and also revenue-green weekend and the rest of the month. And I'll definitely look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Lodge. I appreciate you for that feedback. Yes, you did. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you all. Let's connect. Reach out to me. I'm available. Let's talk and let's make it happen. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys soon. Now, that was an episode, right? Thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I'm so glad that you're here and you are sticking tight with us, especially to the very end. Now, this is season 11 and we're going to do it differently. And I want to make sure that every episode you listen to has something to give back so that you can also learn more after you listen. Now, We Don't Play podcast show is where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So if you're in any of those positions out of those 4, please make sure that you reach out to me. Send out an email through info@playinc.online. That's info@playinc.online. Or you could go to playinc.online, which is a website, www.playinc.online, playinc.online, and schedule a call so that we can get you on an SEO discovery call to talk about your business and help you with your marketing needs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helped you. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Bye.